What is going on, guys? My name is Cosmix, and in this video today we're going to be talking Batman Arkham Origins, but specifically what is going to be new when this game releases a week today, which will be the 25th of October. I'm really looking forward to it. So anyway, I've wrote a few things down that I think are going to really set the games apart, from the previous ones, Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. I'm a big fan of both games. I'm not the biggest Batman fan ever, I haven't read all comics, things like that, but no, I'm a fan of them and I've enjoyed the games, movies, things like that. So anyway, one of the points I want to talk about is that the fact that it's set in Gotham for the first time, whereas obviously the other two games, one was set in Arkham Asylum, then the other one was set in a sectioned off city called Arkham City, which was sectioned off from Gotham, so you never actually got to go to Gotham, but still it was a lot bigger than Arkham Asylum, and it left a lot of fans happy, including me. So talking about size anyway, Gotham in Batman Arkham Origins is actually twice the size of Arkham City, if not more, twice the size and a little bit more. One preview said it was a GameSpot preview, which I will mention a bit later on as well. So that gives us a lot more space to basically be Batman and, run around, beat up thugs, most likely solve Riddler challenges like in Arkham City. They were scattered everywhere, and the city is set out in tiers, and what I mean by that is low, medium and high tiers, and with throughout the buildings. So you've got buildings that will be small, medium, large, things like that, as well as that there's loads of catwalks and things that connect the buildings together, which means when using the grapple hook for instance, or gliding around the city, it enhances the whole experience when moving around the city. As well as that, there is a fast travel system being put into it now, which will kind of link into my next point, because the way the fast travel system works is with the Batwing. I'm pretty sure it's called the Batwing for anyone who's really into comics. I am pretty sure about that. Which is basically the plane Batman's got. So anyway, the way it works is you can't unlock territories as the game goes along, which then initiates fast travel, and you basically call the Batwing in, you grapple up to it, then you fly back to the Batcave, which is another point I wrote down. This is the actual real Batcave, and it's the first Batcave that's been in a Batman game. There was the temporary, or he had another one built in Arkham Asylum, didn't he, that he used within the game, which is he moved some stuff underneath the asylum, just in case, well, as we know what happened in Arkham Asylum, the Joker took over just in case something like that happened, so we had a temporary Batcave there. So within this Batcave, it's the Batcave you come to expect. Alfred's there, which you can interact with him, get more of a personal sense to Batman, instead of just running around beating up people, things like that. You get to delve more into his story, get more personal with him, as I said. As well as that, there is a training area with all, well, it's just dummies, punching bag, things like that, and that is actually used to access the challenge maps, which previously the way you access the challenge maps was from the menu. So most people complete the game, then probably do the challenge maps after, but this kind of lets you do, well, not look, you could do it anyway, but it makes you probably play through the campaign as well as do the challenge maps together, instead of two separate things, which I'm not that fussed on the challenge maps. I like them. I'll probably have some gameplay of the challenge maps, to be honest, over this commentary. But yeah, the challenge maps are there as always. I think it's Predator, campaign, things like that. Stealth is, I don't really know, but another new one as well is the combat training, which is basically a simulator, I suppose. I haven't actually shown gameplay, but I'm gonna guess it's a simulator, and it's basically where you can just practice combos and new gadgets. So anyone who really wants to get used to the game and the combat mechanics, things like that, they can, and they can practice on, I presume it'll either be dummies or I'm trying to think now, simulations of thugs, things like that. As well as that, the Batcave acts as a place where you can get new gear, on the GameSpot preview I mentioned before. When he's walking around the Batcave, he walks up to a workbench, and he actually picks up a new gadget. That was a concussion grenade, which is a newly announced gadget, and it's a sticky concussion as well, so you can stick it to a guard or a thug, and then let it go and it can like flash everyone in the crowd. So I'm presuming from that you'll get most of your new gear from the Batcave, but who knows until the game actually launches. So one of the other main features for Batman Arkham Origins is the fact that it's a younger Batman. You know, it's been said that Batman, Bruce Wayne has only been Batman for 2 years in Arkham Origins, so he's only been dealing with like small time mobsters, things like that aren't much of a threat to him. You know, after his training with the League of Shadows, he's like, you know, mobsters are nothing compared to him. He can take dozens out without even like sweating, you know what I mean. But that also means that he's like, because he hasn't like had as much experience as he has in the other games such as City and Asylum, from the gameplay I've saw, the combat seems to be more like vicious and aggressive, which in my opinion makes it more fun, and it looks a lot more fun to do because he kind of like focuses more on brute strength and thinking. Obviously he's still smart because he's like the world's greatest detective. Well, that's what they try to emphasize anyway, which I'm going to mention a bit later on as well. So it makes the combat more fun, and like, I don't know, I just find if he's more aggressive and vicious, it will just be a lot more fun to beat up people. So, and it kinda, due to the fact that it's a younger Batman, that like obviously is where the story comes from. But kind of, it's like the first time any sort of big time supervillain has gone toe to toe with Batman, in a sense, due to the fact Black Mask has basically hired 8 assassins and threw a bounty on Batman's head for $50 million, which obviously any assassin's gonna go for. Obviously we know like Deathstroke, Deadshot, Bane, things like that. So yeah, that kind of sets up the whole story due to the fact that it's a younger Batman, which I think it's going to be a good story this time. Not that the others haven't been good stories, you know, I love the other games, as I have said. So as I mentioned before, the fact that Batman is the world's greatest detective, they have actually enhanced the whole detective system. You know, the way in Batman's Cal you can activate detective mode, where you can find evidence, clues, tracking, DNA samples, things like that. It's a lot more I'm trying to think, like, creative in a sense. So for instance, one preview that I saw of it, which I think probably many of you have, is the one where I think Deadshot has killed someone, but the way he's done it is really unique, and you use Batman's detective mode within the Cal to recreate the crime scene. So you're like at the crime scene, but then you scan like a little part, and then it will recreate like a virtual video of what actually happened. So the one I saw, I think Deadshot shot a bullet which ricocheted off a helicopter to kill a person, but you actually see that once you've scanned all the evidence, it recreates it in detective mode. So that obviously adds a lot more depth to the game, and it will also, well, make it like enhance the detective mode and make it more like the game more thorough, instead of at times I found on Batman, obviously it was just kind of like you'd run somewhere, you beat some people up, but then there was little elements of like being a detective. But now I think they've like flushed it out quite a lot, and it's going to be really unique to the game and make it a lot more fun, as I have said throughout this video. So I'm going to end it here, guys. All in all, I'm really looking forward to the new Batman Arkham Origins, and I also do want to mention that I'm hopefully going to be starting a Let's Play of the game, like I've done with Splinter Cell. I know just standard Let's Play. I might change it up a little bit, you know, maybe do a bit shorter episodes, so, because sometimes it can be a bit, not boring, but time consuming, obviously watching 20 half an hour minute videos. You know, some people may not have that time, so I might try and do it like 10-15 depending on the way the game's set out. So yeah, I should hopefully be having a Let's Play up. Also on Steam at the moment there is a weekend sale which is 75% off Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and they're both the Game of the Year editions, so they come with all the DLC, things like that. I actually did buy Arkham City myself. I used to have it on the Xbox, then sold it, but I never had any of the DLC, and once I saw this, it was all the DLC for £5. It was, I just had to buy it. Arkham Asylum is only £2.50 as well, so you can get both great games with all DLC for less than £10, which is a really good deal. So anyway, guys, Hope you all are excited for Batman as much as I am, and I shall see you all in the next video.